Continuing our election coverage now, we are joined by Tracey Brame. She's an Associate Dean and Professor at Cooley Law School at Western Michigan University. Professor Brame, thank you so much for being with us. You know, we keep hearing over and over how this is such an important election. This is a primary election. Why is it so important?
So this election is very important and just so very interesting because it is the first big test, I guess, of the state of politics since the 2020 election. In this election, we see Republicans that are facing challenges from the right, challenges from Trump-backed right folks. And so we're really getting a sense of where the party is going to go politically, right, both in this primary and in the fall.
So let's talk about the Republican gubernatorial race. Tudor Dixon has spiked in the polls over the last few days. She received an endorsement from former President Trump and backing from the DeVos family. How significant is that?
So I think it's very significant. So obviously, you know, that's a prized endorsement to be endorsed by President Trump and by the DeVos family. And the fact that it resulted in her rise in the polls kind of gives us an indication of still that very powerful base, you know, in the Republican Party. That has influence, right? That is, you know, kind of driving the election. So interested to see how that goes this evening and where she lands in the field.
Because up until recently, they were pretty close. All five of the candidates, or at least four, were pretty close in the polls. Do you think any of the other four Republicans running for governor can beat her tonight?
You know, they are so similar. I think that former President Trump's endorsement might put her over the top. They all similarly question the 2020 election results at some level or another, have similar stances on abortion rights. And so, you know, the biggest distinguishing factor right now, at least in my mind, right, is the fact that former President Trump has given her his stamp of approval.
A race that's being watched around the country tonight, Michigan's 3rd Congressional District Republican primary. Congressman Peter Meijer challenged by John Gibbs, also endorsed by Donald Trump.
Absolutely, and not only has Mr. Gibbs been endorsed by Donald Trump, Peter Meijer is kind of being brought to bear for, or being held to task, right, for his vote for the impeachment of Donald Trump. So this is both a test of, you know, how is John Gibbs going to do based on support from President Trump, but also is Peter Meijer, you know, going to have to pay dearly for, you know, kind of for his vote on that impeachment issue. So again, just where is the Republican Party going and how much sway does President Trump still have?
So do you think that Peter Meijer really could lose his seat tonight?
So again, my opinion, no. You know, he seems to be relatively well respected and an independent thinker, and John Gibbs is relatively new to the scene at this level. So I would think that Peter Meijer, you know, has enough to kind of put him over the top, but you know, anything, as we saw in 2016 to 2020, anything is possible.
Yeah, sure is. Professor Tracey Brame, thank you so much for being with us, and we will be asking you for more of your expertise throughout our election night coverage.
Absolutely, good to be here. Thank you.
You still have time to get to the polls. They do close at 8 o'clock, and 13 will be on your side as election results start rolling in. Election special coverage will air at 8 and 9 p.m. on our website. 13 on your side YouTube channel as well, and 13 Plus streaming app for Roku and Fire TV.